It's Patrick Lagreid from Halfwheel, and this is the XIKAR Ion, a dual flame torch lighter that came out at the end of 2023 with promises of being able to light up to 80 cigars on a full tank of butane. Now, before we get to that, though, the basics. The Ion measures approximately 2.75 inches long, 1.375 inches wide, and about 3/4 or 0.75 inches thick. And it weighs just about 4 ounces. Feels nice in the hand, not too heavy, not too light. Definitely pocket friendly in that regard. It's available in 5 colors, this blue option, as well as red, gunmetal, black, and then a black and rose gold combination. All the colors have an MSRP of $76.99, and as with all XIKAR products, it's backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Now, as for features, this textured ignition button, or maybe ignition panel, is one of the main ones, as is the large flame adjuster wheel down there on the bottom. And then you also have a fuel window over there on the left-hand side. But there's no built-in cutter or anything like that. Now, using the Ion is pretty straightforward. First, just flip up the lid. Then you depress that large ignition button to start the flow of butane and give yourself a nice dual torch flame. And those torches are ever so slightly angled towards each other, so you get a nice pinpoint flame right up, just an inch, 2, maybe above the top of the lighter. Now, when you're done lighting your cigar, just release the button, close the lid, and you're done. One cool thing I really like about this is that the lid also serves as a safety lock. So now I can't press that button in and accidentally light the Ion while it's in my pocket or in transport or anything like that. But again, as soon as you flip up the lid, you're off and running. Now, in terms of what I like about the Ion, first, like I said, it feels great in the hand. It's substantial but not heavy. I really like the large ignition as there's plenty of surface area, and the logo is the perfect place to put your thumb to make for an easy light. As I said, the Ion puts out a solid dual flame. The two torches are angled toward each other to create a focus point just a few inches above the lighter. I also like that the lighter doesn't get really hot. Now, if you use it for an extended period of time, it's certainly going to warm up. And really, about the only spot I can feel any warmth is right there. It's nowhere where I'm really going to be putting my hand, so you don't have to worry about burning yourself or just even making it uncomfortable. Now, as for the things I don't like, the first is that I felt like I had to have the flame adjuster way too open to get a flame. You can probably get away with it at about 1/3 open, but for the most part, I found it had to be more than halfway, and really even sometimes closer to 2/3 turned open, and that produces a bigger flame than I want and seemingly increases butane consumption. But the real frustration comes when that fuel tank starts to get around half full, as it's right around there that the ignition starts to sputter, almost as if it's not getting enough fuel to light, or there's an issue delivering enough butane to keep the lighter going. All this means is lots of clicks of the ignition without a flame being produced, at least until the flame adjuster either gets cranked up even more or the lighter is refilled. And as for that claim about lighting up to 80 cigars in a full tank of butane, I certainly didn't find that. I kept a couple of tracks of how many cigar, what I call it, kind of cigar sessions, meaning, a full light or a relight of a cigar. And most of the time it was around 20, and that was before those issues started to set in, in which case I kind of gave up count because I was getting frustrated with it. So it's this experience that lands the XIKAR Ion on the no-go list for me at the moment. Now, maybe if Quality Importers Trading Company, the company that owns XIKAR, were to come out and say, look, there was an issue with the internals, it's been fixed, I'd certainly give it another shot. I like the form. I like the basic function when it works. I just don't like how the flame has to be so big most of the time. And the frustration of the company is that once the fuel tank gets to about that halfway point. So that's the XIKAR Ion. You can read my full review as well as complete coverage of the premium cigar industry on halfwheel.com.